bring it to life. Adds a lot of really cool ambient features to Minecraft, and here's everything you need to know about it. Starting with one of the smaller updates, spawn eggs have been completely redone. Instead of just being the same texture for all of spawn eggs, each of them have a different look depending on the mob they spawn. These are eggs, simple change, but makes it so much easier to find the egg that you need. But on with smaller changes, the Lodestone has always sucked to get whenever you're inside a Minecraft survival. Before, you would have to craft it with chiseled stone and a netherite ingot in a pattern like that. This doesn't work anymore, and you gotta use an iron ingot, making this so much more viable. You'll actually be able to use these at your bases, right click them with a compass, get your lodestone compass, and now the compass always points at the lodestone. Top of the easier crafting recipe, the lodestone can also be found inside of ruined portal chests. Let me tell you, I'm excited about this one. I can't wait to start using them. The next change is cartographer villagers now sell 7 different types of maps that vary from the type of villager that it is, from like desert, plains, jungle, etc, etc. I could not find a listing of what villager sells what, so yeah, have fun figuring that out. The wandering trader has also seen some trade upgrades. Let's be honest though, they're still only good for getting leads. Now for the bigger, more fun changes. The first amazing change, we have new cows, pigs, and sheep. For the cows, we got our regular cow, which is a temperate cow. Next up, we have the cold cow, which looks like it has a lot of fluff on it, and the warm cow, which looks like walking bacon. Next, we have warm, cold, and then the basic temperate chicken. The warm chicken, of course, is just a golden brown chicken, and it looks so cool. And the cold chicken has a mullet. Can't have the new chickens without new chicken eggs to spawn them in. The brown egg will spawn in the warm chicken if it would like to. There it is. And the blue egg, of course, spawns in the cold chicken. And the egg, I guess we can all guess which one that spawns in. They are also laid by the respective chickens, as you can assume. Finally, we have the cold pig, the warm pig, which also looks like bacon, and the temperate pig. And the final change is the sheep have no longer a mark on their butt. I don't know why they removed this or why they thought this was pertinent. But no new sheep models. And instead of new models, the sheep now spawn color coordinated to the type of biome they're in. In the temperate biomes, you'll have the most common sheep being the white sheep. And then uncommon are going to be both types of grays, the dark and the light, the black sheep and the brown sheep. And in all 6, the pink sheep can still spawn at a very rare rate. In the cold biomes, which is where you find the cold mobs, you'll find most commonly the black sheep, uncommon, the 2 grays, brown and white. And for the warm biomes, the brown sheep is the common sheep, the others are the uncommon, and once again, the pink. The next change in mobs, which I couldn't find any of them spawning naturally, but cows, pigs, sheep, and chicken can all spawn inside of the Badlands biome. Although I've been flying around here for a little bit and I've seen nothing spawn. Either they are really rare spawning in the Badlands, or Mojang needs to fix this. But the final change that is working when it comes to mob spawning is that camels can now spawn in the desert outside of villages. Wolves had a significant update. Instead of every wolf sounding the same, every single wolf, no matter its variant, have different sounds. There are 6 new sound profiles with 6 different sound types. And if you would like to play those sound types, you just type in /play sound Minecraft entity.wolf_, and they would choose the profile, which is either angry, big, cute, grumpy, pugling, sad, or whine, just whine itself. And as for the 6 different sounds you can make, there's ambient, death, growl, hurt, pant, and whine. And each one is very different. Like for example, here's angry ambient versus big ambient. So go ahead, mess with the sounds. I will say though, I'm fairly certain all the wolves that are already in your world will just have the default profile that they've always had. You know, I keep thinking I've covered all the mob changes, but the Creaking's seen some updates. The Creaking Heart now has 3 different stages. We've got its deactivated state, of course. Then there's the dormant state, which it takes during the day, and its active state, which it takes during the night. And this is when it can go ahead and summon in the Creakings. And when the Creakings spawned in, you can actually name them now. And when your Creakings renamed, it works exactly the same as it normally would, with the exception that the named Creaking no longer despawns during the day. With that said, it also cannot produce resin midday. Now that I've definitely covered all the mob changes, let's move to the exciting stuff, because ambience is a big thing in this update. Should I have started the video with it? Probably. Starting with some of them, the cactus now spawns the cactus flower on top, which this can be placed on any block that's not like path block, but it can be placed on farmland. As with any flower, the cactus flower does turn into dye. And it's not a block you can bone meal either, so you do need to get it strictly from cactus growing. And instead of the cactus growing, there's a chance for this to spawn. If the cactus is 1 or 2 blocks tall, there's a 10% chance. If it's 3 blocks tall, there's a 25% chance. Moving on, we have wildflowers and leaf litter, which function exactly the same as the petals from the cherry grove biomes. They're blocks that are placed depending depending on the direction you're facing and can be placed with 1 to 4 of them on a single block. Along with that, the wildflowers can be crafted into yellow dye, and the leaf litter can both be used as fuel in the furnace, as well as be gotten from the furnace by smelting leaves. And the leaf litter will be found in the different types of forest, and the wildflowers found in like the birch forest and meadows. Probably an ambient feature that should have been in the game a long while ago is regular leaves, not just the pale garden or cherry trees, now have leaf particles. And even though there's leaf particles, the leaf litter is not renewable. Like, the leaf litter is just there as world generation. It does not get formed from these particles. Moving on with some more shrubbery and ambient changes, we got a new bush, then also short and tall dry grass, and a firefly bush. And yes, the fireflies are now officially in-game as particles. The bush itself acts just like ferns and tall grass and stuff. It needs shears or silk touch to be gotten, and the only difference is when you bone meal it, it bone meals into another bush in one of the blocks around it. So very farmable, and they will look really good in your world. As far as the tall dry grass and the short dry grass, these are two types of grass that spawn in the deserts and badlands, and you can bone meal the small dry grass into the tall dry grass, and once that's bone mealed, it bone meals into more small dry grass. And these can also be used in the furnace as a fuel source, although they're not the best fuel source. As far as the final new bush goes, we got the firefly bush, which can of course be bone mealed to create more firefly bushes. It can also be found in both types of swamps, the badlands, and near rivers. And when it's nighttime, you get these single pixel firefly particles, and they look amazing. I have got to get some of these for my world. A feature that I really don't care about or know much about because I haven't tried are the new test blocks, which are going to be good for Mojang when creating stuff and for mod creators when they're working on their stuff. The final and one of my favorite ambient changes is that Java now has fallen logs. This has been an ambient thing over in Bedrock for the longest time, and it has been needed since Pocket Edition days. And what it is, inside certain forests and biomes, you'll be able to find these fallen logs on the ground, and it doesn't do anything much really. It's just a really cool ambient feature that you can just find of multiple different tree types. It doesn't add any game-changing features, but it is a nice ambient change, just like most of the stuff in this update. Man, the overworld is looking the best that it ever has so much ambience added to it. There's also a lot of technical changes in the changelog. You can check those out by going to the description. With that said, let me know what your favorite feature added to this update was. Let me know how upset you are that there's no new sheep models, and have a nice day.